at that. I need to turn it up a little bit. Get something going there. So you can hear me. Way up there into the yellows. Come on, microphone. What's going on, man? Why can't you get there? You need to come out a little bit more. Am I sitting too far away? Am I sitting too far away? I was gonna really speak up, I guess. All right. That's probably pretty loud, isn't it? All right, let's see. What are we doing? Yes. Okay. So we need a session called work that's in the work directory. Alright. And we're gonna call this first one code. No, let's leave this called work. We'll make a new one. We'll call it code. Make one more. Call it CLI. I think we need one more. For AI. Let's go back to work. We do our what we're doing. We're working on the Go Lambda. Alright. So let's us to right where it breaks. I think we can go a little bit smaller than that. Alright. Perfect. Now let's come over here to the code. We're going to CD over to source Go Lambda. Go Lambda. It's your birthday. Alright. And this is just the scaffold. I had AI write a scaffold of a basic Lambda project in Go with lots and lots of comments so I can learn how this all works. So this is what we've got here. At main.go. We can say this. I'm assuming it's going to be the main project. Yes, because this is where I was reading this. This is what this would be in TypeScript. Now, when I think, well, damn, this is, what is this, like 207 characters, 207 lines of code, but this is almost all comments. So I told AI, write lots of comments explaining everything that you're doing. So, and let me, wonder if I can do my typing overhead. And you can see that, and you can just see me typing. You don't have to look at my ugly mug. You look at my cool keyboard. Alright, water. Plus, this allows me to have a little Scooby snack and not be on camera. Alright. Package main. So just a regular handler like I've been messing with. Right? Yeah, see, I'm trying to get myself to remember to use Vim Motions. And one of these days, see, since I moved to Wayland, normally I'll stream from my laptop when I'm doing the typing thing, because I'm using DWM over there and it's all X11, so the windows can talk to each other. But this one, is having a hard time talking to the keyboard because Wayland's got a little bit extra security built in, so I still need to figure out why that works the way it does. Alright. Which is, this all makes sense to me. I've done this a couple times now at work. So, that's all basics of a Lambda handler function. There's no web frame noise. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I kind of know how Go works. See, sometimes when you tell AI, like, I know how to write lambdas in TypeScript, but I want to learn Go, so I'm going to use Go as my kind of reference for writing, for learning Go lambdas using, yeah. Oh, listen anywhere, yeah. Yeah, the name. So the first line of every Go file declares which package it belongs to. Okay. Package main is special. It marks this file as part of an executable program, a command, as opposed to a library or other programs import. So all the executable stuff goes in main. That's what you're saying. Difference between a package with a bin script when it only exports functions. Go requires an executable to contain a function named main. See below. So this tells it I'm in package main. Context.context is the standard Go type for carrying request scoped data, deadlines, cancellations, values. So how we're going to refer to this execution, I guess. Encoding. Encoding JSON is standard JSON encoder decoder. Oh, okay. These are import statements. Okay. That makes sense. Format is for formatting IO, okay. Format sprint F to build our message strings. Okay. The two packages below come from the official AWS SDK for Go Lambdas. Okay. Events defines the shape of AWS events so that you can get the, just like down here, taking an AWS proxy event. Okay. Lambda contains Lambda start. Hello response is the shape of JSON, is the shape of the JSON body we send back to the client. In TypeScript, you write interface. Okay, in Go, we model JSON objects for structs. Makes sense? Two Go rules to notice. Field names are capitalized. A name that starts with a capital letter is exported public. Lowercase is, yeah, I remember hearing about that. Lowercase is private, uppercase is public. Which, whatever. I mean, if you're going to be trying to make a light language that's easy to learn, be opinionated. Make it small. So the encoding JSON package will only encode exported fields, so a lowercase message. field would be silently ignored. A classic beginner gotcha. The JSON message part is a struct tag. Backtick quoted. Annotation that tells encoding JSON what to call the field in the JSON output. Okay. Without it, the key would be message, the Go name exchanged. Unchanged. Without it, the key would be message, the Go name unchanged. With it, the wire format is exactly what a JavaScript caller expects. Message. I got ya. This is our lambda function. Let's, well, up a little bit. The direct equivalent of the function you export in a TypeScript lambda. So this is the handler function. Yes, okay. Read it the go way. The parameter type comes after the name. Yes, so this variable CTX is a context type, and the variable event is an events.API gateway proxy request. Event is what it returns, right? Returns an event, proxy response, and an error, of course, right? That's the shape of Go requests anyway, right? Name of the function, what your parameters are, so func, name of the function, what your things are, this is what it's called, this is what type it is, this is what it's called, this is what type it is, this is what type I returned, plus I always return error. It's null if or nil, I guess, if everything went okay. Okay. Let's clean some of this stuff up. Give me a chance to practice my Vim motions a bit. Anyway. Shift V, come all the way down here. D. Although deleting big chunks of text is freaking easy, right? So I want 4DD, right? Alright. It is a little easier to do that. Oh, okay, this is the thing that starts the function. There's our handler. And our handler pulls out a message, gets it from. Oh, it just puts it in. Format string. Okay. So this is a formatted string. Takes in the method and the path you're going to. Okay. I don't know why this side scroll thing doesn't work anymore, but the whole point is to not use that shit anymore, right? So you can go to Word, go to the end of the word. And you can always go to end of the line. Here we go. Hey, not like we can't do double duty. Learn Go while we practice our Vim motions. No more singing in the shower. Blew my voice out. Okay. Back to 0. So it pulls that, puts that into a thing. Body error. JSON.Marshall hello response. Message. Let me undo some things here. Build a message. Okay. I got that, I think. Hello response message. Message. Is JSON stringify. Okay. 2 things to notice. It returns whatever its message is plus error, right? So then I just check to see if error is null. It returns a byte array. A byte slice goes raw byte buffer. Think buffer, okay? Holding the JSON text. So you gotta marshal it into the response message. And that's define it. Defined right there. Yeah, I don't have the relative line number turned on, and I'm kind of okay with that. I'm gonna rock without it for a little while and see how I like it, because it annoys me sometimes. Because I'm like, it's great to say that's 4 lines down. Or really, that's easy to see. It's 16 lines down, or this one is 18 to 28, 10 lines of code. So, but it makes it a little bit hard to tell, like, really where I am. But that you can get down at the bottom. Line 21. 14% of the way through the document. And you can see my key chords. Okay. So then this piece is getting that response, putting that response message in it, marshalling it into the JSON thing. This is the failure path. AWS logs the error text, CloudWatch and reports error. And reports a function error to the caller. Gateway return turns it into a 502 issue response. Yeah, okay. I see where we're at. I'd probably create some sort of standard thing that would actually return a good message to the user and a detailed enough message to CloudWatch, I guess. Or to a debug message or something. Okay. Which, I don't know, maybe that's what that does. Success path. API gateway is the struct runtime. The message goes into a body. The body's just a string. But I'm assuming this string pulls it out. So we cover it with string body. Yeah. Oh, wow. Okay. That all makes sense. This is the success path. It is creating an API gateway proxy response. Basically, a response object. Status code is 200. Headers, context type, application JSON. This line up here that marshals that string to JSON. Then down below, then pulls it right back out with a string body. Okay. Main is the main entry point of the program. Okay. So I don't know if this is just AI being lazy or if that handler should probably go into another function, I would imagine, right? But let's just trust the process here. Main entry point, when AWS starts your Lambda sandbox. Sandbox, this is the first and only function that it runs. Lambda start registers your handler with the AWS runtime and then enters the runtime loop. Two things to understand. We pass handler without parentheses. In Go, a function name is a value you can pass around, like a function reference in TypeScript. Lambda start handler hands the runtime the function itself so it can call it later. Writing lambda start handler would call the handler right now. Failing it needs an event and pass it its return value. Okay, I kind of got lost there. Lambda start handler. Okay, that's what fires the handler. So we can call it later, writing lambda dot start handler with parens would call the handler right now. Failing, it needs an event. And okay, I gotcha. So basically, it just hands the handler function to the lambda start function. So the lambda start function is just sitting there with a handler function ready to handle it at any moment. Okay, that totally makes sense. What happens next to the key to how Go lambdas work? Okay. Your binary is not a server. Inside the sandbox, AWS runs a small local HTTP service called the Lambda Runtime API on the loopback address 120. Okay, given by the AWS Lambda Runtime API environment variable. Lambda.start connects to it and loops forever. And basically, whenever it gets called, it calls your handler. Passes the context and the event to the handler and posts whatever's the return. Okay. Which would explain why it's one line long. Okay. See what I'm talking about? One line, about 30 lines of explanation. But that's cool. That's what I asked for. Yeah, see, I was thinking, like, I'm not sure if this is convention to. I mean, I'm okay with putting. Whoa. I'm okay with putting a struct inside this thing here where I'm going to be then writing my handler, and then I'm going to be running my func main. But normally in TypeScript, I would have the handler in a file of its own. I can call it whatever I want because Lambda is just going to start and take that in as the handler. So we yank word, right? There we go. I just wanted to highlight the word. It highlighted the whole line. Yank function? No. It would be yank quote, right? No. Yank function. Okay, well let's yeah, I didn't get the whole thing, did it? Okay. I didn't think it did. Let's okay. So if there's anybody watching this stream, comment in the comments if that's a common thing for Go programmers to do, is break those out into separate files. Because when I look at what's in here, it's just that, and that's the mod, right? Which is just the module definition, right? Like package.json or something, right? Go some. I think this is like the lock. And the README that explains all of this. Oh, I hate the swap stuff. I thought that shit was turned off. Another program is editing the same file. Shouldn't be anything editing this file but me. Okay. I want to get used to using like telescope to fuzzy find. But then I gotta go over here to, instead of going I don't know if that's any better though. Oh, this is really good. Yeah, I don't want to just sit here on stream and read this, but hey, if I'm going to talk to myself anyway, I might as well get paid for it. Okay, well, if you're watching my stream,